Well, good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Conversations with Sir Miguel. I know it's been a while, it's been a moment, it's been a minute, but I just wanted to come in here this evening and just say enjoy the ride of life, regardless of what it is that you're going through. Enjoy the ride of life because there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be times where you're going to feel like there's no hope. There's going to be time when you feel like there's no way out. Then there's going to be happy moments. There's going to be joyous moments, sad moments. But enjoy the ride of life. Um, and just know that I know many of you will probably be celebrating Independence Day. I've kind of gotten away from celebrating certain holidays for the most part that our so called government gives us to celebrate. I'm just going to enjoy life as it is. And I'm going to celebrate each day that I'm allowed to open my eyes because who's to say that I will be around for the next so called holiday? But we must continue to enjoy the ride of life. We shouldn't allow others to dictate when we enjoy the ride of life. Hey, Courtney, glad to be here. Oftentimes, we're so busy worrying about other things and other people and being caught up by distractions that we tend not to enjoy our lives. So, again, as I say, many of you will be celebrating Independence Day. But I want you to think for a moment, what if you didn't have the so called holiday? How would you celebrate? Would you take the time out and just celebrate life anyway? Or would you just wait for someone to tell you when to celebrate? You have to enjoy this ride of life because the ride will be long for others, the ride will be short for others, and then the ride could be still for many as well. But enjoy the ride of life. If God has woken you up this morning, you made it to this time of day, then you have enjoyed the ride of life. No one said life was going to be fair because it's not fair all the time, but make it fair for you in that moment, even if it means sitting quietly and just understanding and looking back and reflecting on your day and see how far you have come. You still have to enjoy the ride of life because you don't know what may be coming at you. And even in the midst of darkness, you have to be able to learn how to dance and enjoy life, even when you're going through a struggle. You may have lost someone. Someone may have been in the hospital. Um, Someone may have had a tragedy event, or you may have gotten in a blown up, out of bounds argument with someone. Whatever the case may be, you still have to enjoy life because one day we are all going to close our eyes. And when that time comes, we can't hear people supposedly celebrating our life. We should be celebrating life while we're above ground because we can no longer hear the noise when we close our eyes permanently. So enjoy the ride of life while you can because there are many and quite a few people across this world that have it worse than us, that don't have lights, that don't have cars, that don't have drinkable water, that don't have food, and so forth and so on. But they tend to keep a smile on their face. Enjoy the ride of life. And keep in mind that no matter what you're going through, God will always bring you through. Because, like I said a few minutes ago, sometimes you still have to dance in the darkness. But when you come out of that darkness and you see the light, you can dance, shout, and scream up to the top of your lungs, knowing that you kept your head up in the midst of the ride we call life. Again, I just want to come in here for a short time, not a long time. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but I'm only going to move as the Spirit moves me. Um, as I continue to grow as a father, as a man, as a son, as a brother, as an uncle, I have to reflect on things that I need to change about myself, and so forth and so on. When I do these lives, I don't come on here thinking that I'm better than anybody else, or I have it better than anybody else, because I'm going through the journey myself. Just by conversating, and who's ever watching or listening from afar, you make my life even better, because I'm able to bring something to the table that maybe somebody refuse or don't want to talk about. You know, as the word said, it's not what a man puts in his mouth that defiles him. It's what comes out of his mouth that defiles him. You know, some people like to smoke, a little bud or cigar, or have a glass of wine here and there, or whatever the case may be, and that's okay. That's fine. But at the end of the day, we should all enjoy life, because some people will sit there and say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that." But at the end of the day, God knows the desires in each and every person's heart. He knows what you're going to do. He knows what you're not going to do. But enjoy life, because there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you're being productive, being respectful, being humble, and not tearing shit up and messing with people for no reason or another, or you feel like you can, or whatever the case may be, enjoy it. Because we all only have a little while to enjoy each other. And whatever wrongs that we need to make right, and asking forgiveness, or whatever the case may be, so be it. But enjoy the ride of life. And when I say enjoy it to the fullest. TS, thank you for being here. Enjoy it to the fullest, whatever it is. If you like going out to the beach and playing some music, or just sitting there listening and talking to God, and just enjoying the peacefulness of the waves, or you're sitting at home with the windows open, enjoying the breeze late in the evening with a candle lit, and you're just meditating on the word, or just meditating and enjoying God in the spirit, you are enjoying the ride of life. So I just want to encourage all of you, continue to enjoy this life that has been given to us, because just as easy as we came in, as easily as we can go out. And like I said, I know many of you may be celebrating Independence Day. Knock yourself out, because I don't. You might, doing fireworks, go see a fireworks show, whatever the case may be. Enjoy it. But know that while you're above ground, we're going to have many challenges. We're going to have to continue to fight through those challenges. We can't give up, because we have to enjoy even the chaotic shit. Because the chaotic things will either make us or break us. But we should be being made to be better. Enjoy the ride of life, because nothing is really guaranteed. Blessings are given and blessings are taken, but you got to enjoy it, because if you don't, you can't come back and say, I wish I should have, could have. You know what I mean? But enjoy it. And again, as the Spirit moves me, I will do lives here and there. But more importantly, it's what's outside of these digital platforms that are more important to me, and that's family. And that's continue raising my son. I'll be an empty nester pretty soon. He's the last one. He's the baby. So, I'll be pretty much preparing for the third half of my life, or going forward, or whatever you want to call it. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to continue to do the best I can, um, and leading him in the right direction. And at the same time, he's helping me become a better parent, through all the ups and downs. So I greatly appreciate that because it's helped me look in my own mirror and see what I can do better, as a man, as a human being, and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying the ride. Yes, yes, indeed. I love that. I've become better and not bitter. It's truly a journey and not the destination. Exactly, TS. It is the journey because at the end of the day, we're going to meet all kinds of people, all types of people on this journey. Some will be around for a little while, some will be around for a short time, and some will be around just to see if they can, you know, get you angry or get you upset or see if they can, you know, push a button on you, whatever the case may be. But again, this journey we call life is going to have its moments. But oh, if you could just keep a smile on your face or make someone else smile, that's beauty in itself. That's love in itself. And again, enjoy the ride because again, that little dot in between the beginning and the end is real short. It seems like it's long when you're living, but it's short when it's all over. But enjoy the ride. Enjoy yourself. Keep living and keep doing you. And I hope and pray that whatever it is on your heart that God gives you, those desires and that all your present and future endeavors, that you continue to be a success, that you continue to nurture those around you, and that you ask God to reveal to those individuals who don't need to be around you, and that they be removed out of your presence because their presence can actually hinder your success. My prayer is that each and every one of you continue to grow in your purpose. Ask God to give you the strength to walk in your purpose. And more importantly, ask God to give you the strength to study His Word, meditate on His Word, but continue to protect you when you're going out and when you're coming in. But enjoy the ride of life. Again, like I said, I just want to come in here real quick. Um, it's a blessing to be alive today on the 3rd day of July, 2024. Again, be careful if you're going out there in the streets. If you're staying at home, be safe. I know people tend to act the fool around holidays and so forth and so on. But I think for me, it's more important that I keep every one of my prayers. And as I pray for you, you pray for me. I wish nothing but the best for your family, your children, your relatives, or anybody. And if you have anybody that's sick or that's locked up, I pray for them and continue to fight for those who have been unjustly incarcerated. Continue to fight for those who don't get the proper medical care. Continue to fight for those who are underpaid and overvalued. But I want also to remember this: when you have children, and people taking this thing as, oh, it's a job raising children. No, it's not. It's your responsibility to raise your children. It is not your job. It's not like a 9 to 5. It is your responsibility to raise your children. I don't care if you're a single mother. I don't care if you're a single father. I don't care if you come from a two-parent household. It is your responsibility to raise your children. It is not your job. It is your responsibility. And I get a little irk when I hear people say, you know, it's my job to raise my children, or it's a job raising my children. No, it ain't. It's your responsibility because you decide to have the children. It is a responsibility. God never said it was a job. It's a responsibility. Um, Again, continue to love on one another. And if there's something or someone that you need to reconcile with, or if they only got one side of a story and you haven't told that story, pray about it first and ask God to give you the words and the wisdom to say the things you need to say. And if you happen to reconcile with them, so be it. And if forgiveness is forgiven, then so be it. And if it's not on you, it's on them. But remember, we all have a chance to do right by one another. And again, if someone has done you wrong, it is not an automatic forgiveness. They must come to you and confirm and repent that they have done wrong by you. Then forgiveness should be given. But enjoy the ride of life. We all have many lessons to learn. We all have the ability to grow. We all have the ability to love. We also have the ability to hate. We all, excuse me, we also have the ability to be a blessing to one another. And truth be told, that is really my main concern, is that we are a blessing to each other, no matter what it is. And I know sometimes we get caught up in the innuendos of he said, she said, but how can we not be a blessing to others, but yet we want to tear each other down? We should want to be a blessing to others. We should want to see each other elevate and win. Not everybody is going to be able to take the ride with you. Some people will get lost. Some people will get dropped off. Some people will still be standing on the curb while the car is moving. That's because they wasn't meant for you to go with you. It wasn't meant to go with you. And everybody's not going to go with you. See, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I don't care if you're a single parent. I don't care if you come from a dual household. You can have 4 children under the same roof, and you can apply the same rules to all of them, but not all of them are going to go in the same direction, because each individual has their own makeup, have their own attitude and personality, and so forth and so on. And you go, well, damn, I did the best I can. I tried to raise them right, but sometimes some people don't get it. That even goes for adults. See, us being so-called adults or being grown, it doesn't stop us from learning. It doesn't really stop us from being chastised, because God will even chastise us as parents and adults. You think He's not going to kick your ass in the can when you're doing something wrong? Of course He will. And sometimes He'll do it with the people that's around you or through those whom you love. He will teach you lessons even amongst your children. He will show you things even amongst your children. Sometimes your children will know something before you and say, Mama, Daddy, I don't think you should do that. And you'll tell them to shut up because they don't know what they're talking about. Do you understand that God can use any and everybody, even to down to a child as small as 3 or 1 or 2? He talks through the mouths of babes as well. He didn't say He was just going to talk to adults, because we don't all have it figured out. Because if we did, why would we need God in the first place? Why would we need certain people around us to remind us of things? Our children remind us of things. That's why I always tell my kids, I remember when I was a teenager. I remember when I was at this age. I knew how I felt. So I understand what it is you're going through. The only difference is you have social media and the internet age that gives y'all stuff at the click of a hat. Sometimes you have to be at somebody's house or at the neighborhood, or, back in the day, you had three-way calling and all that kind of stuff to hear shit. But now you get it in an instance. So you have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing new up under the sun. It's just being more exposed because of the technology that we have in front of us. But we still have to enjoy this life. You think God just wants us to sit around and just be complaining. He wants us to have a conversation with him. He didn't say we can't enjoy our lives, because he talks about enjoying the fruits of your labor. Even in Ecclesiastes, he talks about this life and enjoying it, seeking while you're young. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing just to be breathing the breath of life and the breath of fresh air, because we don't know when the number of breaths we take will stop. Even the word says, as just as the hairs on your head are counted, so is the number of breaths you will take in this life. Now think about that for a moment. When you're born and the doctor, I don't know if they still do it, but they smack the baby on the bottom or the baby come out crying. You see that breath just come out with a cry. And sometimes when you take your last breath, it's a gasp of air. See, the beginning and the end is quick and it's fast, even though you may be 80. Because you think back and you go, well, damn, boom, it's over. Breathing the breath of life that God breathed through our nostrils at the beginning of time. Imagine that when you became a living soul. Even though we come in a world that is sinful, downtrodden, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be joyous, because it is. As people say, the devil is busy. God damn it, so is God. He's busy too. He just ain't looking for attention. He's doing what he said he's going to do in this life that he gave us. But again, I just wanted to say, enjoy the ride of life. Enjoy one another. Pray for one another. Believe in one another. Build trust with one another. Communicate with one another. Be respectful. Be mindful, but yet humble. Have empathy and compassion for those who may not have it. But understand this: choose who you will follow, choose who you will serve, because we can't be leaders until we are servants first. But again, enjoy the ride of life. With that being said, my beloved brothers and sisters, TS and Courtney Love, I thank you all for being in here. Those of you who are watching from afar, stay encouraged. Don't let the track of life put you in a hole where you forget where you come from. But again, greatness is in all of you. With that being said, my beloved brothers and sisters, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and may God's blessings be upon you. And I will talk to you soon. With that being said, I'm out.